I have been watching Charlie or Critical or Penguin Zero, however you want to call him, for but almost 10 years now. And it has only been in the past year or two that I have started to question myself as to why I actually watch him. Now, this is not to hate on him or say he's a bad content creator or anything like that, because believe me, I've seen enough of that on other social media apps. Because I actually do like Charlie. Obviously, I don't know him personally. I don't know how he is in person. I just know him from his content, the official podcast when he used to do that, and I used to listen to that. But the more I watch his videos and the more he uploads, I keep asking myself that question. Why do I just click on his videos? And as time goes on, that question itself has extended into other creators too. Why do I keep watching these creators? The reason why I ask myself that question is because multiple times, and maybe this has happened to you too, you click on the video, he starts talking, the topic gets developed, and about 2 or 3 minutes in, you realize, I don't give a fuck. Now, you can call yourself brain rotted, you can say, oh, this is because my attention span is so damn fried from all that TikToking, but you also are able to watch hour-long videos without issue, or at least that's my situation. But why is it that whenever it comes to Charlie and these other creators I will mention soon, I just can't? And if I can't, why do I keep clicking on them? It's a very interesting conundrum that I have been developing in my brain for the past few months, ever since I had that first instance where I asked myself that particular question. If Charlie makes so much, and I hate using this word because it is overused to hell and back, if Charlie makes so much slop that I know I don't care about, why do I keep clicking on it? Why do I keep watching those first 2 ads? Why do I keep giving him money? And the reason is, frankly, simple. I think it's just how comfortable he is to watch. Now, it has been also said to death how Charlie is a lot of people deem Charlie to be a fence sitter or a very boring person. Now, I am not somebody who would say that in a negative tone. I do think it's true, granted. Like, honestly, I do not know why people watch Charlie streams. In my whole almost decade of watching Charlie semi-consistently, I have only watched one Moist Critical stream, and that was when he streamed Batman Arkham Knight when he was finishing the game. And even then, I was bored to death, because I know Charlie won't watch this video, but just in the off chance, I am sorry, man, but you gotta be the most boring milquetoast white shirt, ironically, yeah, white shirt guy ever. He has little to no reaction to anything. He barely commentates on anything. God forbid you're watching his reaction to like the Game Awards or Summer Games Fest and he doesn't have somebody there watching with him, because he will literally just sit there, watch like a 4-minute trailer, and during those full 4 minutes he will not make a single facial expression, and the only thing he will say is stating what is directly on the screen. Now, I know it sounds like I hate Charlie and I'm just completely, fully just diarrhea on him, but no, that is not my goal with this video. My goal with this video is analyzing what I personally call the Moist Critical Effect. The way I describe the Moist Critical Effect is the point in a creator's lifespan where they become what is known as a talking head. But specifically, them being a talking head ends up becoming like the main point of most of their content going on, and not only does it become the main point, it actually helps them grow. And I kid you not, I fully believe this. Charlie could make a full like 8-minute video of him just staring at a camera, and he would still make the yearly salary of a single mother who just had her kid die to cancer. Now, again, I'm not trying to hate on Charlie, you take that as you will. But it really does make me question my brain itself. Why anytime, well, not anytime, I have actually started cutting back on it, but why almost every time I see a notification from Charlie pop up, or I see a video from Charlie in my homepage, I just get the urge to just click and mindlessly consume what he's about to say, even though it's nothing special. Now, I'm not trying to be an elitist when it comes to YouTube and try to say, oh, you shouldn't be on YouTube making low effort content. Like, God, bro, I exist. I make low effort content. I'm not even gonna pretend like what I make is highbrow. But you know, you can have thought-provoking ideas, you can have well-edited videos, you can have good gameplay, you can have so much type of content, and yet I still consistently find that type of content to be so mind-numbing, like genuinely pacifying. And like I teased before, I have started to see it in other creators to a lesser extent, mind you, but I have seen these versions of the moist critical effect on them. The first creator I want to mention is Scott Jund. You might not know him if you're not into DBD, but if you're into DBD, you probably know him. I haven't played DBD in a long time, but the perks of being there like for years. Scott Jund is, when you describe him, pretty damn similar to Moist Critical. Just a white guy sitting in a blank room, standing in front of a camera, and most of his videos consist of him just giving his opinion. Now, mind you, Scott Jund isn't as much of a fence sitter, at least in my opinion. I am not that into DBD anymore, so I don't know if he's changed or if his opinions are becoming more mainstream or whatever. But he does seem to have that similar effect, where most of his videos are literally just him sitting and talking, maybe with some occasional gameplay to his left, or I guess to his right from your perspective. And I remember seeing a lot of people started criticizing him for that, to the point where I think his thumbnails started making himself get more edited with like laser eyes and something to make it look more interesting. I know that's probably him leaning into the joke, and I don't want to criticize him for that whatsoever, because I do like him for the little I do watch him. But it is also the same situation where I don't even play DBD. I haven't played DBD in fucking years, at least seriously. And yet, anytime I get a video of him in my homepage, I just instantly click it. And then 2 or 3 minutes in, I realize, why am I watching this? Like, this is so boring. I don't give a fuck. And then I click off. Another creator I want to mention, but to be fair, this is like, I know I know none of these people are gonna watch this. This is me just like talking into the void. Maybe 2 or 3 people will watch it. Broski, if you are into Street Fighter, specifically Street Fighter 6, you probably do know Broski because he is a fairly large content creator, or at least I think he's fairly large recently. He is an Aki lover, a copy bar enjoyer, and a Nen Impact defender for some reason. And recently I found myself asking the same question. Now, the reason why I say Broski doesn't apply that much to the moist critical effect is because he does actually make fairly educational content if you are into the game, and his gameplay is obviously like top tier. A lot of people do watch him, I guess, to like improve their Aki and improve their other characters, because he does fairly often make guides on how to beat or how to learn certain tags, or that type of thing. So, but the reason why I feel like he still applies a little bit is because his archetype, the way he acts and the way he conducts himself, is extremely similar to Charlie and Scott Jund, by relation. He is a plain ass white guy. Granted, he's British, so he's not exactly like, the typical American YouTube accent as the other two, though to be fair, Critical is a bit more specified. But he speaks very monotonely. He barely gives any reaction to like most things, especially when you watch him react to like trailers and stuff. Like, his biggest reaction will always be like, "Oh, that's nice." Like, that's a horrible impression, by the way. Actually, no, I don't think he's British. I think he's Australian, now that I think about it. I don't give a fuck. Anyways, whatever. He is that type of archetype. Just plain ass, very simple white guy with barely any... I'm not going to say barely any personality, because he does have a personality. But I guess you can say he's not very energetic. Which, again, I'm not hating on these people. I really want to make that clear. I love these creators. I still watch them for a reason. This is just me questioning why I even watch them. And again, Broski barely fits into that category, but he still fits into it in certain ways, and that's why I do want to lump him into this little I guess group sesh. Why do I just constantly click on his videos when I know I will probably get bored 2 or 3 minutes in? When sometimes they are educational, like I mentioned, and I do actually like to watch those because he does give some solid ass advice, but a lot of the time it'll just be like a fucking video talking about I don't know, some random Aki move that does not apply to me, does not apply to like half of the roster, is a like extremely specific thing, and he just makes a lot of videos like that. Also videos like him reacting to some replays, and frankly those videos I think are like the lowest tier when it comes to his content. It's really not that interesting. So I did want to add him onto this, but I want to make it clear that he's not, I guess, I don't want to say as bad, but that's like the only term I can use here, as bad as Scott Jund or Critical. Those are the big three in my humble opinion, but I do want to give an honorable mention. The reason why the creator I'm about to mention I feel doesn't fit all that hard into this is because he does do variety. Not recently, mind you, and also he is pretty energetic. But the reason I do want to give him an honorable mention when it comes to the Moist Critical effect is because his content has almost become something very similar to Moist Critical, except it does have gameplay behind it and it might have a reaction or two. And the creator I am talking about is Jev, or I guess Face Jev if you're an Unk and you remember him that way. If you know Face Jev, you know he has a shit ton of clips of him just screaming, raging. He does do it pretty often too in his normal videos. But most of his content, especially for the last few months, has just become him just talking about like a very specific thing, whether it's a new Call of Duty trailer or a rumor for Call of Duty, or just like a very minor thing, you know, that you can just talk for like a minute and a half about. And the whole video will be him just like saying something for like a minute, then gameplay of COD, so a few nice clips he got in the game, and then maybe a rage or two from like a bullshit moment, and then him just yapping in between the gameplay, and then it ends. That's about 80 to 90% of his content nowadays. And I mean, obviously that's low effort. That's not to diss him. Again, that's not to diss him. I don't want this video to be misconstrued as dissing these people, because I love these creators. I watch them extremely frequently. I just think it's like, why are we all so glued to this? Because these creators, I mean, obviously Critical and Scott Jund are not going to have a comparable size in audience, but I am talking in terms of the communities they possess. The places they are, they're relative to their communities, their audience is pretty big. So why do so many of us just love to consume this content when I would like to think most of us know it's not exactly that interesting? It's just a really big question I have been asking myself, and I still don't have an answer to it. So this video is sort of like, I guess, a question to my audience, or, you know, if you just found this video randomly, you have no fucking idea who I am. Why do you watch these people if you do? And if you don't, why don't you? How do you feel about these creators? And better yet, if you have anybody else you have found this Moist Critical effect on, who is it? Tell me about it. Just leave it in the comments. I read every comment, and yeah, that's really all I have to say about this. I'm literally just ranting about some random shit. But yeah, if you watch this bullshit ass video, thank you a ton. I love all of you, and have an amazing day.